Let's talk Jinx. A weekly Jinx video we do every Wednesday about anything to do with Jinx on this channel, as well as acting as a weekly discussion thread on the Jinx subreddit, our LeagueOfJinx. Make sure to go check that out. And for today's video, we're going to be taking like an early look at the next patch of patch 9.8, I believe. Which, the reason I want to kind of take a look at this is because Jinx right now has been pretty powerful in the meta for a while. They're not looking at nerfing her. A lot of people kind of feel like she doesn't even need nerfs, which is fine by me. But it looks like patch 9.8 might be bringing something of a massive meta shift. And they've kind of been slowly doing this already with tanks and stuff. But we have, and I'm not going to go into specific changes, we'll do that next week when we get into more of the patch-centric episode. But in an early look, we have changes like a Mumu, Camille, Cassiopeia, and Fiora, which aren't necessarily tanks, and they're kind of getting some buffs, which are kind of nice. But like Gnar, we have some other stuff down here, like Nautilus is getting some more love, Sejuani, Singed, Trundle. The reason you buff Trundle when you buff tanks is because Trundle is actually kind of like the anti-tank tank, if that makes sense. Basically, if a lot of tanks are meta, Trundle is better because he kind of does with his ultimate, is just like, hey, let me just steal your stats, and now I'm suddenly a tank too. What's up? Kind of a thing, right? Zed's damage is being lowered too because Zed's a little bit kind of too powerful. Bramble Vest is getting a bit of a change, a buff as a matter of fact. The Grievous Wounds duration is going up. Thornmail is getting buffed as well. Coup de Grace looks like it's actually getting its damage increased as well, which would help against tanks. I think we had like what, either Sunfire Cape or Balmy Cinder. One of the two got buffed in the last patch. That's why Shin for a second people thought he might have been meta. Like basically what I'm saying is a lot of tanks more so than now. Like right now you can make the argument tanks are kind of meta, tanks are not. It's still about fighters, bruisers, early game, stuff like that. It looks like Riot wants to move the meta into more of a later state with tanks and stuff coming in. And how does this affect Jinx? It kind of does and does not, right? Because on one hand, Jinx is in a situation where she may be borderline on the need for nerfs but not needing nerfs. But also, she's kind of falling off in pro play a little bit right now. Furthermore, she is pretty good, but she wouldn't be necessarily considered the best AD carry. That honor might still go to Vayne right now for maybe many reasons that many people might disagree about, depending on how much they love or hate Vayne. But what I'm getting towards, and kind of like a future look, if we will, is they're bringing these tanks. And I feel like it's for one of two reasons. One, you know, it's not really a tank meta. They kind of want to maybe make a pure tank meta. They do feel the game is healthier when tanks are in it. Tanks can kind of help CC some more problematic champions. On top of that, tanks tend to make the game go later, or like scale later, I guess that is, make games last longer. And a lot of right now people are saying, you know, the game's kind of coin flippy, and maybe the game wouldn't be so much coin flippy if they were tanks. But furthermore, the other thing that could happen is, well, let's say Jinx and even Vayne, because Vayne's not really receiving any nerfs at the moment, they're borderline needing nerfs, but not quite over that metric of needing nerfs. Well, if suddenly they go into a tank meta where they're both good at killing tanks, Jinx and DPS tanks, DBS, yes, Dragon Ball Super tanks, but also DPS tanks, and Vayne's like thought of as the tank killer, right? They might actually start doing even better than they already are and give Riot an excuse to finally nerf them after a couple patches of being powerful. Now, yes, that's probably not exactly what's going to happen, and yes, me bringing that up just struck fear into your heart, which was kind of the idea. But furthermore, you know, that's one thing I thought of is like, well, let's see a tank meta where Jinx is already powerful and she kills tanks. People are going to be playing her and picking her a lot more often. She's going to be winning, and oh no, nerfs are coming, but at least it won't be till after MSI, since MSI is being played on patch 9.7 and Jinx is viable on 9.7, so we might still get to see her pro play wise beyond 9.7. But in solo queue, please, if you're not playing the champion yet and you're watching this channel because you're a Jinx main, get on that while you still can. I feel like now they're like looking for a reason, but not necessarily, because given August's opinion, she doesn't really need it right now either. Like, she is powerful, and maybe in the future if she keeps getting more powerful, but he's kind of like, she can be strong right now, it's alright, which is great. Anyways, so that's this video, like a future look into 9.8. Obviously, I could go into some more details of some stuff. So if you want more details, feel free to ask in the comment section down below. I didn't even touch on some other champions that are getting changed, like Ornn is getting some changes, the knockup's being increased on some of his stuff, right? Like Morgana's Dark Binding is being lowered, and some nerfs are coming to Kayle as well. Jhin is getting some buffs, so it's going to affect the matchup between Jinx and Jhin for that matter. But again, those are more specific stuff. We'll talk about the Conqueror Alistar skin, so people are going to be playing Alistar just because, right? There's a lot of stuff in there that we could talk about, so definitely, and we will talk about in depth in next week's episode when we go into the patch specifically. This is an early look, and the things on the PvE might not ship live, so just be aware some of these might not make it. So that's why I kind of saying just prefix, I can't say words. just be aware that that might be a possibility. Some of the stuff we're seeing now might not make it, and as such, that's why next week's episode we'll do a proper patch video to see what actually survived and what actually made it off the PvE. So, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button, but I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care, and GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.